Luton Towns transfer window, doesn't it? Going straight with the stream ending right off the bat. It's just me tonight. I'm here for the transfer roundup. So it's a live show. Call in if you want to call in. It'd be good to hear from people. And Luton Town are about to announce another signing. I think it's going to be Ali Alhamdi, which I think that's a perfectly serviceable striker. Yes, he hasn't done it above League Two, but you know, he's an athletic striker. There's going to be an option to buy. But ultimately, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the chat. What do you think of this transfer window? The outs, the ins. Not just today. Today, I'll be honest, today has been a completely abject disappointment. It's been a year since we signed Mark McGuinness, for instance. How much money have we lost on Mark McGuinness? Now, I know we didn't pay 10 million for him. We didn't pay 8 million for him. Maybe we did. Who knows? But it was a panic buy because we were desperate. And we've just sold him to Sheffield United. And who knows what we've actually... Essentially, we're terrible at selling players. Absolutely terrible at selling players. It's very frustrating because we went from being a team that was stacked with defenders, and we've gotten rid of, well, I think Teddy Mengi's probably going to be on the way out. Sky Sports News are reporting that he's on his way out to Burnley. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but I reckon he's the only one we're not going to lose money on. Like, if we have a look through the list, so starting with Dallo Asgard, he went for a fee to Glasgow Rangers, thought to be in the region of £3 million. Like, what we signed, allegedly we made a profit on him, but a very tiny profit, very, very tiny profit. Then Thomas Kaminski, he went to Charlton for a fee, probably not much of a fee, probably the same amount that we bought in Josh Keeley. I'd say we upgraded Josh Keeley because Josh Keeley comes off his line. Then Ben Peppel, by all accounts, like, he was never going to make it into our first team. He had a good season in National League, and then he went to League Two, and he was serviceable. But Plymouth fans are saying he's like the worst player they've ever seen. That's fine. Then Alfie Doughty. This is the transfer that has annoyed me a lot. Like, Alfie Doughty, we should have sold Alfie Doughty last season because when his value was at its peak. Instead, we signed him to a new deal. Fair. At the time, I said that is a good bit of business. However, the problem was that we didn't actually bring any backup to him. And I said it in the Alfie Doughty video when he signed the new contract. The problem is, if he was to get sold or injured, the latter of which actually happened. He got injured for a long time because Rob Edwards kept him on the pitch when he was, well, for a better lack of the word, fucked. And it ended up being a more serious injury. And then we just sort of kept cobbling players and shoehorning into Heath Chong into left wing back. And now we've signed Cohen Bramble that seems like a real... It seems like it's been a rush job. Essentially, this geezer has been out of contract all summer, and we signed him a couple of weeks ago. He's had no pre-season. It's sort of like, you know, looking at a completely bare shelf in a shopping centre, or shopping in a shop, in a Tesco's or whatever. Well, more likely, we're shopping at Lidl. We're not even shopping at Lidl. We're shopping at Pound Stretcher. And it's like, oh yeah, he'll do. And then we go get him, and now we're easing him in. And he's not a patch on Alfie Doughty, so that's why we're playing Miliali at left wing back. But it looks like we kept Miliali, so that's good. Anyway, I can see everyone in the comments saying Ali Alhamdi has just been announced. Yep, he was spotted at the training ground earlier, so Hey, fair play. Don't know where he did his medical, but hey, he's coming back from injury, so hopefully he'll be back soon. He started the season for Ipswich, played a couple of minutes off the bench. So I guess we'll see if he's ready. But as I was saying before, we've gone from being stacked to the back to being stacked up top. I don't know how all these forwards fit into each other. So yeah, our lovely graphic from editor Kate. Nice one, Kate. Ali Alhamdi, one of us. He's one of us. Age 23. He's alone. He's come from Ipswich to us, and he was never really getting into Ipswich, was he? Like he was sort of on the periphery of their squad. I think we should have signed him from AFC Wimbledon, to be honest, because he was doing really good there. And he's sort of petered out a little bit as he's gone to Ipswich. But obviously Ipswich were in the Prem, so there wasn't really time, was there, for him to hit the ground running? Because in the Prem, it's very difficult. And Ipswich signed millions of players in the Premier League, and they struggled throughout the season as well. Right, Kate, can we go back to the outgoings from this window? Been some very, very interesting ones. I think I left off at the old Alfie Doughty. Looking at the ones from today, Mark McGuinness has gone. As I said before, how much money did we lose on Mark McGuinness? Who knows? Ted Mengi, he's on his way out. Reece Burke, happy he's gone, because he's already injured for Charlton, but he's on his day, and that is pretty much how much he plays. 1 day a season. He is a brilliant centre back. I'll always remember the playoff final where he came over Tom Lockyer and essentially pocketed Victor Gyökeres. That was worth it for Reece Burke, and we got some money for him. Carlton Morris, he's gone to Derby. He's banging in the penalties. He's tapping in those goals, but he goes down as one of the worst captains we've ever had. Happy for him that he's sort of doing all right at Derby, although Derby are kind of struggling. It'll be a long season for them. Tahith Chong, gone to Sheffield United. He's sort of linking up again with Chirwell Bene. He's going to be seeing Mark McGuinness there as well. That is hilarious. And I don't know if you saw Sheffield United. They had that little video where Chirwell Bene was going up the stairs. Yo. It was really poorly acted, so I'll do my best to reenact it. I'm looking forward to seeing you here in a bit, mate. Him and Mark McGuinness never played together at Luton Town, and I'm pretty sure that Chirwell Bene was injured when Mark McGuinness made his Ireland debut. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's just off the top of my dome. Who else went? Daiki Hashioka never really got a fair shake. Ironically, we can actually use Daiki Hashioka now, because if we're looking to transition to a back four, that's what we need. We need a right back, but we also need a left back, because right now I think we have we have 5 centre backs. I reckon Tom Lockyer might re-sign. Who knows? But he's still listed on our club page. He's training with the club. He's on a monthly rolling contract. But essentially Ted Mengi, Mark McGuinness, they're gone, and Tom Holmes as well. Whoa! How did I forget about Tom Holmes? Premier League January signing, Tom Holmes. How did I forget about him? What a stalwart of the club. It just goes to show how shit our recruitment was in January. I know this has descended into a rant. This is why I need Mark Ryman with me to level me out. Mark McGuinness has gone, already talks about him. Corley Woodrow, the Gary Sweet vanity projects. I've got pictures that I've got to upload to Hatters Heritage. I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry, Roger. I will get round to it. I've got all these photos from the program scans that I've done. Corley Woodrow as a kid being announced to the Luton crowd, and Gary Sweet's there. And this one, Corley Woodrow, just reeks of a Luton Town vanity project. Well, a Gary Sweet's vanity project, because allegedly, Gary Sweet must have said to him, not the last we've seen of you, when he was going to Fulham. Well, now he had one good season at Barnsley, had an injury, had a very mediocre season, and then we signed him. And then we had a good season. And he scored that goal against Norwich. But I know he's not a striker, but he's pretty much averaged 1 in 11 games. 1 goal in 11 games. Yeah, they were important goals. Yes, he scored against Everton in the Cup. Yes, he sort of got his body on that one against Crystal Palace. Do they matter? The only one that really mattered was that Norwich one, because that was important in one of Rob Edwards' first games. And he's taken 4 penalties, 2 in friendlies, 2 in actual games. He's missed all 4. He never really hit the heights that were expected of him. And the worst thing was, he shouldn't have been offered a new contract when we got to the Premier League. That was absolute lunacy. So it's a loan, because obviously he's on a massive salary. No one's going to pay that salary. So we're probably still paying a massive portion of his wages. Anyway, that's everyone that's left the building this transfer window. I'll go to some comments before I talk about the incomings and talk a little bit more about the old Ali Alhamdi, who has joined us now. And also, it'd be great to hear from you. Just the call link is pinned to the top of the chat, and it's also in the description below. It's great to see so many of you here for the stream. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I think we got another one Wednesday night as well. It's going to be me and Phil, and we'll talk about, well, you'll have someone else talking, so it's not just me prattling on, being really, really angry. But ultimately, I'm upset with the transfer window. I don't think it's been a good one. Mainly because the net amounts that we've brought in, we must have brought in over £15 million, I reckon, from the players that have gone. The likes of Reece Burke, the likes of Tahith Chong. Sure, we've lost money on all these players. Well, Reece Burke was a free, but Tahith Chong, paid $4 million for him. We probably sold him for like $1-2 million. Mark McGuinness, we probably lost money on him. Thomas Kaminsky, we lost money on him. I know, like, it's a depreciating assets in the sense that we've brought these players in like before the Premier League, or in the case of Mark McGuinness, Pank bought him before a championship season. We've brought these players in before the Premier League. They have less time on their contracts, and therefore they are a depreciating asset. But we've essentially brought these players in, derailed their careers so quickly, and then we sold them for a loss. But we've still brought in money. Anyway, I see some of the... right, let's read some comments. I'm getting word from Editor Kate. Let the fans have their say. Rant over, guys. Right, Super Mickey Chow. Happy with a few of the signings, but we seem to be bringing in a lot of wingers for a club that doesn't use wingers in their formation. That is a very astute observation, Super Mickey Chow. What does that mean? Could it be a 4-2-3-1? The formation that brought so much joy to Matt Bloomfield at Wycombe, quite possibly. Or maybe not, because we haven't really brought in any fullbacks. It could be a case of Longwick and Naismith playing right back and left back. Who knows? I guess we'll find out, won't we? Because, yeah, we sold quite a few centre-backs. We can't really keep playing 3 at the back when we've only got 4 senior central defenders. DMC123, wafer thin fullback options. 100% nailed on. You're correct. Matthew Byro, hopefully Ali doesn't hate playing at left wing back for the whole season. Could be the case. Well, Joe Johnson's back in November. He could be doing a better job at left fullback than he could at left wing back or left centre back. That's just my thoughts on it. NW says maybe Josh Keeley will turn into Superman and keep everything out. Then we won't need any defenders. That is wishful thinking. Bryn Watson, what the hell is happening to our club? Sell our record signing, then announce a 300k nobody from Gillingham. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't even talk about Joga Bode. That's an interesting one, isn't it? So we were chasing Samson Tervide for a while, and allegedly he failed his medical. He came in for a medical. I don't think he failed it, but I do think we couldn't agree terms, or maybe something. This is speculation. I know he was in. It was widely reported that he was in. Something must have shown up. We tried to renegotiate. We only sign players that fail medicals when they're free agents. Like Victor Moses. Like Hakima Dauphin. Don't know what's happening at the club. It's literally bargain bin. We're doing the equivalent of buying cans of baked beans that have been smashed on the floor and they are dented and therefore discounted. But then we're still going and trying to haggle over that as well. A poor day's business. Can we sell sweets? Oh, that's actually from Gary. Is that Gary Sweet saying that about himself? A poor day's business. Can we sell sweets? Then Tom Long, yeah, Alhamdi signs. Can't believe we didn't sign any fullbacks or centre back. Yeah. Phil Clark, McKenna said last he was back in training at the end of the international window. Okay, so Alhamdi, he will be back at the end of the transfer window. Yeah. Tom says Fanny staying. So Fanny, Marv, I reckon they're staying. So at least we have options in central midfield. Marv is obviously away with Zimbabwe right now. I will bet £1 million that he comes back injured, and we don't see Marv. But that's just my thought. Jason 008, sort of almost James Bond. McGuinness should not have been sold. So many defense issues for over a year, and then we sell our best defender. I don't know if he is our best defender. I don't know. My voice went really high there. I don't know if he is our best defender, but we are selling quite a solid defender that looked like he was getting back to his best, but you can't stand in the way of a player that wants to leave. You just can't do that. Because what we've learned from last season is we can't keep players here against their will, because then you end up with a bunch of players that just aren't going to bleed for the club. They're not going to play for the shirt. They're not going to play for the badge. They're essentially not going to give a shit. And then you end up in a relegation battle. I'm not saying we're going to be in a relegation battle, but like I thought when that lad Ethan signs and we're letting him go back until January, I was thinking, oh my God, he's going to come back and we're going to be in a relegation battle. It's going to be Fanny all over again. Super Mickey Chow says all those who went to the Blades are going to have 3 consecutive relegations on their record. 3. Premier League, Championship. Ah, yes, because they got relegated with us as well, didn't they? Yeah. The Blades don't look good, but I reckon their board are not going to piss about as much as we did with Rob Edwards. Essentially, Ruben Sellers will be gone if results don't improve, because no one else gets that much of a grace period, really. Andy Folds, if Anderson is okay coming back, he'll be as good as, if not better than McGuinness has been, especially at this level. So no worries. That is a bit of optimism. But may I ask, where is Mads Anderson right now? He's injured. He played 2 games and then he was injured. Same old Mads, you know. Right, loads of people in the chat. Love this, guys. Absolutely love this. Wow. Woodrow only on loan. We are still paying his wages. Correct, Tom, because he's on a massive wage packet that Wickham are just not going to be able to afford. Hopefully they've taken a little bit of it. So I guess we'll see. How much did Mark McGuinness go for? Who knows? Undisclosed, as always is the way. DMC123, are we sending some of these forwards out on loan, or are we expecting a couple to leave in January? No idea why we need so many. Yeah, I know, right? It's almost as if we're going to be playing a 4-2-4 or a 4-2-3-1. Essentially, it's going to be a very attacking heavy formation, but you know what? If we can score more than the opposition, who cares? Because we will win. Right. It'll be interesting. I have no idea what's really happening. Ben, Luton Town FC. I'll read this comment and then we'll get in our first caller. Absolutely fuming. We sold McGuinness. Just get the defense sorted out, and Bloomfield goes and balls it up. We were looking pretty. That's a good point, because we were looking good defensively. McGuinness had just come back from his illness, which was quite obviously COVID, and yeah, and then we get rid of Mark McGuinness, but I guess we have options. Mengi's going to be going, and McGuinness is gone. So what does that leave us at the back? Longwick, Naismith. We have Chigozie. He's a good kid. A Dauphin. I haven't even talked about the incomings this window. I'll talk about the incomings after we get our first caller on. I'm forgetting another defender. Who am I forgetting? I'll bring in Simon. He'll remind me who I'm forgetting. Good evening, Simon. How are we getting on, mate?
Good evening, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I've been talking up a storm for about 20 minutes.
I've been listening. We even got an analogy again this week with the baked beans.
Yeah, the baked beans. Like that's what we're buying. We're buying the smashed baked beans. Like I don't understand the Gabode deal. I really don't.
I don't know. I wouldn't imagine that he will be straight involved with the first team, surely.
Well, you'd think a signing kind of would be, but I can see where you're coming from. I can definitely see where you're coming from. Alhamdi, do you reckon he's injured at the moment, but when he comes back, where does he fit in? Where do these players fit in our lineup?
Well, it's obvious that we are going to go just stupid attack. It seems like we are just going to put something out that's going to aim to just be too much for League One defenders and just score more than them. That seems like what's going to happen. Surely
you've got to
it's going to
create
be
the chances, though. You've got to create the chances.
Of course, I get what you're saying. In a perfect world, I'm really shocked we didn't get a creative midfielder. Or that was a bit like even something like I'm not one for player nostalgia and going back to a player who was here before. Typically, what's Luke Berry doing at the minute?
Is Luke Berry even getting into the Charlton side? Because I know it's all about don't look back, but I'd take Luke Berry in a second.
Yeah, same. In League One, same. I think we should have kept him last season and all, personally, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? Can we get on the screen the players in, please, Kate? If you can get up the players in, so I could just have a quick look at it. Well,
you don't know them. You don't know them off the top of your heads.
There's so many.
What a plastic fan you are.
There's so many. There's so many.
I think that's 11. I think it's 11. 11 players in, which is a lot.
What's going on with Mengi? Is Mengi here now? Is he staying? What?
I think the deal sheet's been submitted, so he will probably be going.
So where do you think that's going to leave us? 4 at the back, surely?
Well, it has to be like maybe Naismith plays left back.
I don't think he's got
maybe Makoso plays right back. Like maybe it's going to be Cohen Bramall when we play conservative right fullback in Makoso, and then we play a middle two of Naismith and Longwick for a really slow centre back pairing. I honestly don't know. So yeah, Kate's running through them at the moment. So we've got Joe Gabode, Josh Keeley.
Yeah,
I think Josh Keeley's probably signing.
It's a great signing. Keeley's probably
signing of a brilliant signing. I think he's an upgrade on. He's an upgrade from
Kaminsky.
From Kaminsky easily.
Yeah, Longwick. I thought he's looked all right. To be fair, I think Longwick's not looked out of place. I think that he's done an all right job. Saville, I'm high on Saville. I think that he was a brilliant signing. I think that he's probably going to be our most important signing of this window because he's something that we truly lacked the last 2 years, of someone willing to get stuck in, willing to go that extra yard to turn the ball over for us. He's a great player. I think that we've done a great job with him. But obviously, people are going to be concerned about the lack of fullback signings. I thought we were going to get someone in on the left again, someone more. Are we waiting on Izzy Jones? Are we praying on Izzy Jones to be back soon? What then?
Well, yeah. It is a case of waiting for players to come back. So you got a Dothan, we're waiting for him to come back because he is one of our centre-back options. He can also play defensive midfield. I think keeping Fanny is an absolute masterstroke, but providing we play him as an 8 rather than trying to hammer him into like the forward line, which I think is stupid. It could be a case of, with all these forwards now, we don't need to keep jamming Fanny up top, you know? Well, interesting. Phil Clark has said, Mengi going, club have tweeted business complete.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, it might be their business is complete. It could still be a player going. It'll be interesting to find out from a Burnley perspective what's going on.
I tweeted out earlier today, I said, we can comfortably lose McGuinness or Mengi, but losing both of them would hurt.
Yeah, but in all fairness, if you had to pick one of them to go, I would have picked Mengi all day long.
I would have kept McGuinness all day long.
Yeah.
Over Mengi. I don't think Mengi's head's there. I don't think it's been there for ages.
No, but he's got to start building back up. You know, he can't jump straight into a Premier League side. He's got to, maybe in January he could go, but Mengi's got to show he can do it post-injury.
I think we've done a pretty good job at getting the big salaries out to a point. I'm not even going to talk about Woodrow. Goodbye, Woodrow. Thank you.
You don't want to talk about Corley Woodrow, your favourite player. You must be devastated.
Oh, yeah. I'm the noted Corley Woodrow supporter, me. It's just, at the end of the day, look how much money we wasted on Corley Woodrow over the last couple of years. He was on a high wage, by the way. When we went up to the Premier League, he got a new deal for who knows how much. But much more than what he paid back to the club. That's for certain. And we're clearly paying some of that wage now for him to not be here. His contract will expire at the end of the season. Goodbye. Best of luck. You know, I'm not sad to see him go. I'm sure he's a nice enough person, but he didn't do it on the pitch. And that's ultimately what we talk about.
Yeah. Well, every time he didn't do it on the pitch, everyone would always say, "Oh, and Charlton have just announced James Bree."
Saw that as well.
From Southampton. That's a good signing. You know, that's exactly what we needed.
Ex-Luton. You got the Luton Avengers coming up with Sheffield United, coming up against Charlton as well. The DC of Luton in a big climactic battle.
Yeah, it will be like a charity football game, won't it? You know, Luton past and present.
It's quite funny to see.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, everyone seems to say our summer transfer window business is complete. I guess we had to keep Fanny, didn't we? What with Baptiste being out for the season.
Oh God, it had to happen to him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and Elijah's out as well, probably for the season. What, Baptiste?
Yeah, like, but at the start of the season, he didn't look too bad, to be fair. It looked like
he's a good player. He's a good player, but as Matthew Byro says, as Nick and Mel say, I've had poppadoms with more strength than Baptiste.
Yep, it's sad. It's sad, and it's an indictment of some of our business of recent years. Look, I've tried to look on the bright side a lot during this window. I've not needlessly just bashed it as I might have done in the past. I've sort of come to terms with the fact that we're in League One. I lowered my expectations quite a bit. Obviously, I'm not entirely happy with the entirety of the business that we've done. I think that we've signed some good players. Kadoa, I think that he's going to be really important.
Yeah. We got an option on him as well. We got an option. But I reckon the option is only if we go up. Well, we're not going to sign him. We're not going to sign him. Yeah, we're not going to sign these players if we don't go up, because it's a lot of money. It's going to be a lot of money, but I guess we're going to have to reinvest the money that we have, that we brought in this window. I would love it. I would love it if there was an accounting of how much we brought in and how much has gone out. Like I reckon we couldn't have spent any more than 3 million, which is pretty much what we brought in from Asgard.
Didn't we? We made money when we came down from the Premier League at the end of the business. I'm sure of it. It was about even.
Yeah. We were profit. We were in profit. We sold Barkley. We sold off Bene.
Barkley.
Yeah, well, we made a fair bit of money. The only player we signed for a fee was Mark McGuinness, and even that was probably a lot of
add-ons.
A lot of add-ons. Yeah,
we paid about 4 million up front for him, I'd say.
It's impossible to tell, but we did spend a fair bit of money. I remember the time they said it's not a club record because that prestigious honor goes to Ryan Giles, the one and only Ryan Giles. What I said it. I said it on the live stream yesterday. As soon as Luton Towns spend over 1.5 million pounds, they're just shitting it up the wall. They don't know what they're doing. Excuse my language, but we're past 9 o'clock. Alhamdi, great signing for the level if we can create chances for him. That's a big one, if we can create chances. But you know what? Zach Nelson looked good in the 8, so we could potentially create chances for him. Oh, wow. Nick and Mel saying Ipswich fans are really slating him, which worries me. I guess we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens.
Huge level to them when they got promoted. When he joined them, he was expecting championship and they all went up. So he didn't really stand a chance. You've got to remember that. He was never going to get the team in front of Delap when they had him. You've got to be realistic here. He was really good at Wimbledon. And unfortunately, like us, when we went up, we outgrew some of the players that we had initially got. And we were in a similar situation. So Alhamdi, I think, is really promising.
Yeah. No, he is, and I think this is the right level for him because he's 23, still young. He needs to grow. Like going from League 2 to the Championship might have been a bit of too much of a jump. Like Elijah had a couple of seasons in the Championship before we got to the Premier League. Remember, we signed him halfway through the season. He sort of got up and running the tail end of that 21-22 season, then 22-20. The seasons like around COVID just sort of like time warp in my brain. I remember him announcing himself with the Sheffield Wednesday game. It must have been a closed door season, 21-22. But as Nick and Mel say, Alhamdi, he has bags of potential. Like myself and Mark the Hatter, we were saying 2 years ago when Luton were in the Championship, or the season we were getting promoted to the Premier League, we said we should have signed him from AFC Wimbledon when Ipswich signed him. Or maybe we should have signed him with one eye on the Championship. Can't remember when it was, but as I said, time warp around that whole period. Seasons from ages ago, they sit in my mind a bit better. But round up this transfer window in one sentence then, Si.
Adequate. I think there's enough there.
I was going to launch him with a joke. It doesn't really work. I was going to say Gary Sweet, adequate, has to quit, but it doesn't work. Terrible joke.
I think we've done enough in order to be one of the strongest sides in the division, just from attacking prowess potential. I think Josh Keeley is going to be massive for us.
Yeah.
I think that him at the back and Makosso are going to just be pivotal. So both need to stay fit. Let's get that straight. I can't say it's great.
Do you think we'll struggle defensively? We'll struggle defensively, though.
It's an issue. It's an issue that we didn't sign more fullback potential. It's a problem that we didn't sign an out-and-out creative midfielder. But for me, it's adequate. I think we've got enough.
Fanny could be that creative midfielder. Fanny could be creative. Zach Nelson showed he could be creative because he had a hand in all 3 goals to some extent, really. Jordan Clark, he could still do it if he's got legs next to him. There are players. There are players that can create, and we also have the wide players. You know, Shaden Morris, who we barely even talked about, he can create. Kajua, he can create. Millie Ali, he can create. So we can create. The main thing is we need to create more from the middle. As you say, you know, we tried to get that guy from Barnsley, Adam Phillips. Like, we need to create from the middle as well as out wide. I think Zach Nelson can probably do that just a bit, but he's got to play in 2 8s. Like, there have to be 2 central midfielders, 2 box-to-box players doing that, as well as that player, you know, sitting behind them, the Savile.
Yeah.
But Savile needs to be quicker in getting the ball to the 8s. You know, can you imagine Fanny and Nelson playing together with Savile behind them? Like, I think Fanny and Nelson would be pretty good together, but also Clark. Clark was tremendous in that game against Burton, but obviously against a more high-pressing, fast-paced opposition, it could be a case of needing more legs in midfield, as it were.
Well, we are what we are now. We've got what we've got. Bloomfield, it's his job now to make it work. I think Burton was promising. I'm hopeful that we're going to have a happy season. We're not going to blow League One away. That's not going to happen. I don't think that's even close to happening. Cardiff have recruited incredibly well.
They have. Amari Kellerman. Wow.
I think we're going to have a happy season. It's not going to be a disaster. We're not going to get relegated, and that's a plus from the last 2 seasons.
Where do you reckon we are come January? That's the last question, and I'll boot you off.
I think we're going to be up around the top 6.
Okay.
Top 6, and we go from there.
Okay. Si, thank you very much for joining us, mate.
Before I go, I just want to shout out the Power Court trees. All the green shoots that came from that really lifted my spirit. So up the tree shagging at us.
Thank you very much. Catch you, Vic. Catch you soon. Bye. Oh wow. Yeah. Whatever. I didn't realize that it's only goals scored in the green shirt that actually counts. Super Judas, we will get you on. I'm just going to read a couple more comments. Nick and Mel, we signed plenty. Now let's see what these new boys have. Plenty of options, certainly plenty of attacking options, not many fullbacks. Darren Gillick, love your work in the program, mates. McGuinness and Holmes going. Does that leave us light at the back? Yes, it does. And that's agreed by Rich. Yes, it does. It leaves us incredibly light at the back because one thing that we are known for are defensive injuries. But you know what? I reckon I do think Tom Lockyer might be coming back. He is in the building, but he's just got to get past the old fitness test, doesn't he? I'm glad Nick and Mel agree. Zach Nelson has to come through this season. He does. Super Mickey Chow agrees as well. Nelson is going to be big for us this season. Thank you very much to everyone that is getting involved in the chat. This is fantastic. Over 200 people watching now. This is amazing. Matthew Byro, competitive top 6 is the minimum. Hopefully it's better than that. Matt needs to do a job to gel this squad together. I feel Cardiff are going to be an absolute beast of a team this season. They're going to absolutely go beast mode. Brian Murphy, Brian BBM, he's going to do absolutely fantastic stuff with Cardiff. He's made some amazing signings. Right, we have Super Judas joining us. Super Judas, what is your name? It can't be
Bryn.
Judas.
No, my name's Bryn. Sorry, it's my son's Discord account. So
all right, Bryn. Thank you very much for joining us.
With it.
Well, Editor Kate will get your name up on the screen. Is that Bryn, Bryn?
Indeed.
I've smashed that one. There we go. We'll get your name up in lights on the screen. So, Bryn, what do you think of this transfer window as a whole?
Poor, confusing. Okay. We know that Bloomfield wants to play a back 4 or transition to a back four, as apparently that's his style of play.
Mhm.
And yes, we needed to shed some defenders, but on the other hand, we've shed the defenders for a back five, but we haven't brought in left and right backs. So we are now yet again going to go forward from another transfer window with a squad that up top is built for a four at the back and a defence that is caught between a four at the back and a five at the back.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You smashed it though.
So are we yet again going to go another 6 months caught between two systems with players playing out of position that doesn't suit them, doesn't suit the side, because we've had another transfer window that to me has been, we've come out pretty much worse off. We're now way top heavy on strikers. Where Hamadi's going to fit in, I don't know. Are you going to bench Yates? Are you going to bench Nordas? Are you going to bench Naki? And then Eli coming back, all right, later on in the season, possibly towards the end of the season. What about Jacob Brown?
Jacob Brown, who failed a medical at Bristol City, by the way.
Absolutely. But, well, no surprises there. I think most of our squad would fail a medical if they went for one.
But Tom says it's the Luton way. I think that's in relation to a comment in the chat, but I think failing medicals is the Luton way, to be honest.
And in terms of timing, we sell our record signing, 10 million, and then announce a player from Gillingham for 300k. If you actually conservatively tot up the amount of transfer money that's come into the club, discard parachute payments, we've already pretty much been told we're not touching them. If you bring that, just the transfer money brought into the club, you're looking at between 15 and 20 million pounds. And we're buying a £300,000 player from Gillingham in League Two that nobody's heard of. It's not.
He was the backup as well. Like, I think we wanted Samson Tavide.
Well, and he, from what I've seen stats wise, and I live in Kent, so I've heard absolutely nothing about him from Gills fans. Like, they don't talk about him, they don't rave about him, they don't. Why are we signing these players? And another striker when we've just brought Hamadi as well. I mean, I do not understand where the club's thought process is going at all. And as for signing injured players, well, it just continues. I mean, Hamadi's injured. A Dauphin, he's injured. He even failed a medical and we still signed him. So why bother with the medical in the first place? I don't understand where the club is going. And I think we've come out of this window a lot worse and more confused than when we went into it. And all the positives that Burton gave us have now been thrown out the window, because now we're caught even more between two systems without the players to play either.
Do you reckon that's why McGuinness had such a good game? Because he knew Sheffield United were watching him. I don't understand why he left it so late as well.
I know, yeah, right at the death. I mean, I don't know. And if Mengi goes as well, there's talk that paperwork submitted for Mengi, transfer paperwork. If he goes as well, that leaves us with Holmes going as well. With what's his name? Injured at the moment, but coming back. He's been injury prone ever since he came here.
Which one, Mads?
Mads, yeah.
Yeah.
We are actually all of a suddenly, from being overborn with centre halves, we're actually going to be centre half light, and we don't have fullbacks to play a four at the back.
Yeah, it will have, like, with the amount of defenders we have, it will have to be a back four, but it's going to have to be Makosso and Longwick, really, because they are the two athletic ones. But where does that leave McGuinness? Not McGuinness. Where does it leave Naismith? We brought in
Exactly.
Naismith primarily to like play this three at the back because Naismith is the one that has that cross-field ball. He has the eye for the pass. Maybe he sort of slots in as a defensive midfielder now, potentially.
But then what do you do with Saville?
Well, Saville, Naismith could be the backup to Saville, potentially. Or
then
it can be a fluid formation.
If you look at Fanny, then his natural position is a defensive midfielder. So then that's three.
We played him. We played him everywhere but. Everywhere but.
You're keeping your club captain. Are you going to put your club captain in above Sav, who's done pretty well this season so far, and Cal's been pretty disappointing?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I think it was good that Naismith was dropped for the last game to the bench. But no, you can't drop. You cannot drop Saville in the form that he's in. Bryn, you sound like you're a bit of an older fan like me. So you remember Kevin Nichols?
Absolutely.
For me, yeah. You might even remember Brian Horton. I don't know how old you are. I'm not old enough for Brian Horton, but I've interviewed him on this channel. You can probably check it out on one of the playlists. We have former player interviews. Kevin Nichols was a great tackler, and that is what I see from George Saville. I don't think Saville has the passing range that Nichols had, but he is the sort of engine and the person that puts in the reducers that we've been missing for a long time, probably since Alan McCormack, I would say. We've been missing that type of player, and we can't take him out of the team now.
I totally agree. And in League One, you doubly need that sort of player.
Yeah.
Somebody that is prepared to put in a hefty challenge, someone that is physical. So this is what I mean. If you've got Fanny, the club captain, and Sav all in the same position, where does our club captain fit?
Yeah.
I say, it's so the recruitment has been so disjointed that there doesn't seem to be either any communication between the way the manager wants to play in the recruitment team, or the recruitment team and the manager. And we're signing players all over the park, and it's leaving us without the ability to play one system or the other.
It's very like, I don't know if you played Football Manager or Champman. Like I love Champman 0102. It's a free download, and you can get mods and stuff, so you can play different eras and stuff. So I've been playing a lot of CMO 102, and in my saves, I am absolutely stacked with strikers, and I've had to find a formation that it's like two at the back, fullbacks playing really high up the pitch, and there are 4 attacking midfielders behind 2 strikers. That is how it is at the moment, because Lewis Williams is going to hate me for rounding on Yusuf Sajjad, but it's almost like he's like, we must sign all the strikers. I like this player, we're going to sign him. I like this player, we're going to sign him. But you're right. There's no rhyme or reason or thought process that's gone into the ultimate squad building here. It really doesn't. It doesn't feel like that.
You can sign as many strikers as you want. If you can't supply them, then they're just dead at the top of the field. You need every part of the team has to be working and functioning in order to create the chances for the strikers to score. If it was that easy, we'd all play 10 strikers.
Yeah. Like back in the old day, playing the
absolutely,
the 1-2-7 formation.
That old classic.
Yeah.
But it's just so disconnected, and this club has never ever been richer. Never been richer. And we seem completely unable to spend money or to spend it wisely.
Yeah. Well, as soon as we have spend over 1.5 million, I said it earlier, we shit it up the wall. It's like Lyle Landley from The Simpsons, in that monorail episode. Luton Town with money is like a mule with a spinning wheel. No one knows how they got it. Damned if they know how to use it. We don't know how to use money. We don't.
It's incredible. It really is incredible.
Do you think
And
Gary Sweet needs to be removed from the football side?
yes, absolutely. You know, I've got a lot of time for the 2020 and what they've achieved for the club. But there comes a point where the job of CEO, king of all, dictator, and Trump's acolyte actually becomes too much for him to handle. Brilliant. Power court,
Oh hell,
hell of a
Gary! Oh hell, Gary! You can't see it.
basic.
I'm like, I'm worshipping my Gary shrine over there.
You know, he's done an outstanding job with Power Court, the applications and everything. And go forward with that. Make that your baby. But don't try and do that and the football side and everything in between. You know, you've got to delegate responsibility somewhere. And I'm not necessarily a fan of a director of football, but there needs to be someone that takes responsibility away from Sweet to allow him to concentrate on Power Court. Because that is
100%.
going to get more complex as the development comes forward.
No, absolutely. Look, he's a business guy. He was formerly chief of business at Siemens Communications. He is a business guy. He is not a football guy. But one thing that Gary can't do is delegate. He has to have his finger in every single pie. So he can't let go. He's involved in the commercial side. He's involved in the recruitment side. Just ask about, Admiral Muskway. Maybe that story will come out one day, but we'll find out when his autobiography comes out eventually. He is doing a tremendous job. As you say, he's doing a tremendous job with Power Court. He needs to just focus on that. And unfortunately, Stephen Brown's been exited from the club because of his thoughts that Gary Sweet needs to, be removed from the football side. Stephen Brown was right, and he's had a horrendous removal because of it. It's disgraceful.
100%. But you can see where Gary's talents lie. Power Court, fantastic. Commercial, F. Football, F. Recruitment, F. I mean, and it's so blatantly obvious, it slaps you in the face. It really does. And like I say, I don't want to take away from 2020 and what they've done for the club and where they've taken us to. However, you can't ride a boat forever, because we did that with Rob Edwards and look where we ended up. Yes, people call it credit in the bank. Well, I'm sorry, but you're only as good as your last performance.
Well, Gary was too close to Rob Edwards.
Exactly. You have to be cutthroat, because trust me, these players and managers, they're cutthroat enough. And if you aren't that way with people, then I'm sorry, but you're setting yourself up to fail. And a CEO should never have the kind of personal relationship that Gary Sweet had with Rob Edwards, because that is bound to taint your decision-making process. It should never have been allowed to happen. It should have been stopped by the other board members, because as soon as he speaks, you can't listen to him, because it's tainted judgment. Yeah, he's got family and kids, and I'm sorry, we pay him for a service. If he's not providing that service, he goes. Not that he's got a wife and kids, and I know them, and they're our friends, and that's got nothing to do. This is football. This is a football club that has to be run professionally.
You've absolutely smashed it there, Bryn. Love it. You put that far more eloquently than I ever could. For me, it's just ranting and raving. I'm wearing a tie.
Oh, trust me, I rant, I rave. I mean, I'm a season ticket holder. There's about 8 or 10 of us in Kent. We drive up to every home game. We go to about 10 away games every season. We spend a lot of money on this club, and trust me, do I rant. And yes, I supported the club when we were in the old First Division. I've been all the way down, all the way up, and it's nothing new to me. But there is a way to do it. There are reasons that has happened in the past. For this double relegation there has been no reason for it whatsoever. The club did not need to allow this to happen.
The most avoidable relegation in the club's
In
history. I've seen 7. I've seen 7. You've probably seen 2 more than me.
Yeah.
Probably 1 more than me.
Yeah, it would
You're
be
probably
1,
like,
yeah.
yeah. You've seen us relegated from Division
Yeah.
1. Yeah. So you've seen 8. I've seen 7. Of all of them, I haven't shed a tear or been upset about any of the other relegations. Premier League relegation, I expected it. Minus 30, we all knew it was coming. This
despite
relegation, it was mind-blowing because it was so
Just how?
avoidable. Yeah. It was, we were a laughing stock. It was embarrassment, absolute embarrassment. And I said this was the most important window in our history. Well, maybe that's a bit outlandish, but I did say it. This summer was going to be probably the most important in our modern history because we need to be going that way and not staying in League One. If we stay in League One this season, we're staying here for a while.
No, I couldn't agree more. And it was, for me, like the board will turn around and have a go at the fans for negativity and having a go at people and voicing opinions that aren't PC and don't fit their narrative. Well, I'm sorry, they have controlled this narrative and look where it's got us. And saying we're gonna no stone left unturned to find out what the problems were. Well,
Nothing's
what did
happened.
you find?
Yeah,
What did you find?
Nothing's been like shown to.
No, of course not.
Nothing's been external, and I doubt anything's been shown internally as well because Stephen Brown pointed out what was going on, what the issue was, and he's been exited.
And
So
I know you've got other callers and you need to get on, but I just want to say one more thing, and this is against Gary Sweet. But for me, this sums up how far we have fallen as a club in terms of being together with the fan base. Was when Gary Sweet, and I walked past the director's box that day, and Gary Sweet was stood there laughing at Luton fans who were not happy.
Which game was that? That was last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, last season. And he just stood there and he was looking up and grinning and laughing and then on his phone and then looking up and laughing some more. The stewards had to get in the way. Now, why? Why would you do that? You are antagonizing. He calls himself a fan. You are antagonizing your own fan base against the board simply by doing that. Disappear underneath the stand like everybody else did. And that changed my opinion on Gary Sweet forever. Like I said, I will still give him credit where it's due with Power Court and getting us back into the Football League eventually. But that is no way to treat your fan base. That shows complete and utter complacency of a guy that is a dictator and knows he's untouchable.
He is untouchable. He is.
Well,
his mates on the board
confirmed it to me on that day.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it this way, we'll get on. I'll kick you off in a minute. But with Power Court, it's tremendous achievement. Tremendous.
Yes.
Like property-wise, they've done a tremendous job. But don't start thinking that the stakeholders in this property development are not going to get incredibly rich as a result of this. They will. It's not an altruistic thing because they want to build a football stadium. If they want to build a football stadium, they would have built it on the land that we owned at Junction 10. You know, there are loads of football stadiums that aren't in the centre of town, but they come up with a solution that gives us a football stadium, but also gives them a load of property to sell. And then they are going to get wealthy. They're going to get a massive return. You absolutely nailed it there. They're going to get a massive return on this. It's not pure altruism and being Luton fans. Like they're going to make a killing from this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And if that's not plain to every fan, in the club, then they need to have a really strong look at themselves and start buying MAGA hats, because look over here at this hand while I do this over here. It's like I say, Power Court needs to happen. It is happening. I'm very grateful for that actually happening, but you cannot just let the club slide into nowhere with the funds that this club's had available for the last 2 to 3 years. It's unprecedented, and we've never had such a fall from grace like this without reason.
Well said, Bryn. Well said. Right, I'm going to get the next person on. Thank you very much for joining, and
Thank you very much.
Come on in future. You were fantastic.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good evening, mate. Oh, there we go. I've preemptively cut them out. Sorry, Bryn. That was very unceremonious word. Launched you out. Yeah. Right. Loads of comments. I'll get the next guy on. It's Dan coming on in a minute. Right. Looking at where so many comments. Thank you everyone for watching. This is absolutely tremendous. It's almost a shame that I have work tomorrow. I could do this all night. In the Premier League, Sweet could have done more in January than Hashioka. He didn't spend a penny in summer last year. In panic January and this window, we don't seem to have had any strategy again. I do think our January window last season was actually all right, with the likes of Ali, Asgard. Who else we bring? Naismith. Naismith was a good one. Obviously, Gary's gonna. We are essentially gonna be. Well, it was a panic, and Bloomfield's going to be replaying in his mind the fact that he didn't play Naismith over Mengi against West Brom. Hey, we deserve to go down over the season. We did. Right, Horseshoe Crab. Just been looking at who may come up from League 2 to see if we'll have any fun new away games next year. Cambridge reunion could be fun. Yeah, Pelly's there as well. A lot of people saying, well said, Bryn absolutely smashed that. What's the attendance of Power Court going to be if we're still in League 1? It's going to be like 7,000-8,000, maybe 10 if we're lucky. People fall away. I remember when I first started going to Luton in 1995, I think there were maybe 5,000 people there, 4,500, 5,000 people. A lot of people don't turn up in the long run. Right. Ollie, get Bryn on for a regular spot. He was spot on from Douglas Kirkwood. Absolutely smashed it. You're right. Then Luton Town FC, you can have the best new stadium in the world, but if you ain't got a good team, no one's going to come and watch them. I think Gary Sweet has done a fantastic job. Kate is telling me my mic is a bit muffled. Is my mic muffled? Or is it just me talking? Do I need to clear my throat? Because I have been going a mile a minute since coming on. Hit me with a thumbs up if the mic is all right. And I'll clear my throat. Yeah, I should have a water with me. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Is my microphone all right? I have no idea. Give me the thumbs up. Right. Instead of me talking, let's get Dan Ashby in. It's muffled. How about now? Is my mic all right now? I have no idea. Well, I might have to call this early if my mic is muffled, because these things are not meant to go on for. Everyone's saying a little muffled. Is it a little muffled? I have no idea. You finally yapped the mic into submission. Yeah, there we go. Is it muffled? Hello, hello, hello. It's an attack from Gary Sweet. He's attacking my ISP. Oh, much better. What have I done? What have I done to make this better? What everyone's saying it's better. I have no idea what I've done. What have I done? It's better close up. So I got to talk like this. Got to talk like this, like an old timey commentator. Right, we got Dan Ashby on. Dan, can you hear me, mate?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Apparently, everyone can hear me or can't hear me. I mean, I've been told it's fine and that we can carry on now. Right. So, what are your thoughts? You're always very pragmatic. So, tell me your thoughts on this transfer window, mate.
I'm probably going to annoy a few people. Um,
I knew you would.
I,
It's been a while, mate.
I know.
Why haven't you come on one of these, mate? Is it because of
No,
my acrimonious split from We Are Luton Town?
no. More to the fact that you went into Discord, and it's a bit of a faff for me to set it up. But yeah, I think there's a few ways to look about this. First thing is, like a lot of people thought, he had a massive chance to refresh the squad, which we have done.
Mhm.
I personally thought we were going to move to 4 at the back, like everyone thought. We haven't done that, and we're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. We're going to stick with 3 at the back. At the minute, we've got 7 centre backs. I know McGuinness went today. Makoso, Naismith, Mengi, Longwhite, Anderson, Doffin, and Chidozi. 7. We've got no fullbacks apart from Bramall and Walters.
Mhm.
We do have players suited to wing back. I know we don't like it, but our squad has been built to play 3-5-2 now. Right wing back, Jones when he's fit, Kadua and Walters. Left wing back, Ali, Bramall and Johnson. And you can probably throw Morris at either side of the wing backs now as well. We've got 6 strikers. We're not gonna just play out one up front with 6 strikers. It's not gonna happen. And
So you think it's gonna be a 3-5-2 then?
yeah, and I think it'll work.
Wing backs?
Yep, it'll work. As long as though we have to basically play him as wingers, which in most of the games in this league we will, because we'll have most of the ball, which means Ali will basically be playing left wing back like we saw against Burton, left wing like we saw against Burton. Kadua will basically, or whoever's been playing right wing back will play right wing, and you'll have Saville and the 3 centre backs as protection, along with hopefully we stick with the 2 8s, because I thought that worked with Clark and Nelson in there.
Mm-hmm. Do you reckon does Fanny get in ahead of Clark potentially?
No, you can't drop Clark.
So does Fanny get in ahead of Nelson?
No.
What happens to Nelson?
No, at the minute it's Saville, Nelson, and Clark. You've got Walsh and Richards as backup. As a throw, if you in an emergency, you can put Naismith's defensive mid. There's plenty of depth there. And as I said, we do even have. We don't have the fullbacks, but we do have wingers. Ali, Kadua, Brown, Morris. I'm missing someone else as well. There was 5, but yeah, well, we've got 5. I worked it out earlier on, and like I mentioned, 6 strikers. I think it's
pretty
balanced.
stacked.
It's stacked and it's balanced. It really is. I know
Except
people are
fullbacks.
annoyed. At
Like,
fullbacks, yes, I agree.
Makoso could play right back. Makoso's done a job like when he's playing that right centre back position and burst up through the pitch. Maybe he needs to play right back, and then Naismith plays a very conservative left back, or Bramall can be a very attacking left back.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be 3-5-2.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I know we're all fed up with it, but if it's a proper 3-5-2 with the wing backs attacking, it'll be fine. It really
That's
will.
the thing. The wing backs need to be about 10 yards further forwards. That's the problem.
Yeah, to a degree. Some of the things that have annoyed me so far is, for example, the first game against Wimbledon, we were always going to have all the ball. Ali had to start at left wing back, not Longwick. I know we don't. Ali is best on the left. He can't play through the middle. So he either plays left wing or left back. So that was a massive thing that Bloomfield got wrong for that game. But like I said, I was quite encouraged by the fact that he had the balls to drop Naismith, because I thought he wouldn't do that, and he did. So
But
yeah,
what
I know.
happens? What happens now with Nordas? Because Nordos is sort of coming into his own now. Does he go back to being a bench player?
I don't know. I'd say at the minute it's Nordos and
Yates.
Yates probably, but we know Bloomfield wants to change the front lot. He wants to take them both off and bring two on. We've now clearly got Nordos, Yates, Wells, Alhamdi, the youngster from Gillingham, Jacob Brown.
Brown. I don't know when Brown's going to be back.
I know,
No
but
yeah,
I
he's
know, but
there. He's there, but we've only got 7 subs. Got
I know,
7 subs, and then
that's what I mean. People are moaning, but any squad in the league would swap for our squad in a heartbeat. They would.
we said that last season. We said that
I
last
agree.
season, Dan.
I agree with that. But they've been proactive. I know McGuinness, I wanted him to stay. I know some people didn't. But if we keep Mengi and lose McGuinness, we thought Mengi was going anyway, so we still got the same numbers. And then it gives us this few months until January where maybe Brown, Mengi and Fane do go, but we should have plans for them moving forward. So
You hope.
yeah, that's my opinion. I've probably annoyed a few people, but I think we need to all calm down a little bit, and we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We started okay. We're gonna get better, and yeah. See what happens.
No, look, it's good. It's good to be balanced, but I'm pretty sure we had this exact discussion last summer. Convinced of it.
Yeah,
I'm getting crazy deja vu.
We've been proactive this summer. We weren't proactive last summer. We drifted last summer. We haven't drifted this summer. They've made decisions, whether we like them or not. They've got rid of players. Some of them I didn't want to leave. Some of them you did want to leave. I didn't want to leave. And we've signed players who, I think we've signed good leaders. I think we signed players with potential. We've signed players with who should be good at this level, and then they're being thrown together, and we're going to see. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I could be
I
wrong,
guess
but I hope
we
I'm
will
right.
see. Like I hope you're right as well, because we need a good season after back-to-back relegations. Like the Premier League relegation was expected, the Championship one. We got to get back on the horse after that, because if we don't bounce straight back up, we're gonna end up gonna end up in League One for a couple of seasons, like Sunderland.
Yeah.
And we don't have the financial muscle like Sunderland to sort of push our way out of it. We don't have crowds of 45,000.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I agree with that, and we don't want to be in here, but they have sort of like, if worst case scenario, and we have to then get rid of our better players, we've sort of started to build the squad like Longwyke, Kadua, Archer, who we've sent out. We sort of are, if worst case scenario happens, we are sort of planning for it. But hopefully that don't happen.
If we don't go up,
we're
not keeping Longwyke. We're not keeping Kadua if we don't go up. But they've looked all right.
We will. Yeah. No, we will. From what I gather, those were, especially Longwyke, it was more to do with appearances because of his injuries, from what I heard. But I might be wrong.
Okay. Dan, thank you very much for joining us. So I'm making these really short now because normally, hopefully it's still up. It's probably the wife streaming Netflix in the house. Who knows? Some comments here. Nick and Mel. Ali wasted left back, and they think Nordas starts. 7 strikers on the sub bench. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Well, they can all play wing back, can't they? Lee says the wing backs don't call the front three into position, like they aren't actually sure how to play the system. I'm not entirely sure if I understand that. Matthew Byro with a very important comment here. I really, really, really hope Mengi's head is up for the fight at least until January. He's got to play for a move. That is what he's got to do. He's got to head in the game, realize he's playing so he can not just go to the Championship. He's got to go to the Premier League. But to be honest, Sky Sports were saying it was happening. I feel there's probably more to come from that Mengi deal. I don't think it's done and dusted just yet. Tyler joins us. Tyler, good evening, mate. Thank you very, very much for your patience. What do you make of this transfer window?
I mean, there's been, I would say fairly decent, incomings. Alhamdi, I think that is decent. It's just a shame he's injured. But the main concern for a lot of fans, and I'm sure you're the same yourself, Ollie, is the fact we haven't got a left back / left wing back in. I think that is a worry because, don't get me wrong, I think Bramall's come in and he's been decent. But the way I look at it, and I've said it on my channel myself, is if he gets injured, then what? You're going to be playing players there who are not really, it's not really their main priority to be playing there, the likes of Ali and things like that, and you're limiting him for doing what he's good at, I feel. And yes, he played there the other day and it worked, but that was against a team who are not so great, with all due respect to them, and we will play much better opposition. You can't be doing that in games like Huddersfield away, for example, things like that. Me personally, it's a bit of a mixed feel as well, but I felt we needed another right back as well, or right wing back, because Jones is obviously out long term. Riyad Walters, I still feel is developing. I don't think he's terrible, but I just think there's still a lot there. He's got to learn. And again, Kadora's a similar situation to Ali. I think he's done very well, and he should be continuing to start. But as the season goes on, when you play them better teams, it's not going to work for me. So that was my only really concern when it comes to that. Is mainly there. But everywhere else, I think is fairly decent. It's just, they're the massive letdowns for me.
Yeah, a lot of people in the comments are saying a right back and a left back were needed. That is essentially what were needed. Because like Walters, can he play right wing back? I think he's better as a right back, and maybe Joe Johnson as a left back. But ultimately, I don't really see. And if we're waiting for Isaiah Jones to come back, we're pinning all our hopes on Ali on one side or Bramall. Like Bramall could play left back. I think Bramall has played a lot of football at left back. I just feel that's where we've missed out in this transfer window. Fullbacks.
Yeah,
just to protect ourselves.
Yeah, I totally agree. That is the massive letdown. And, the thing is as well, a lot of us as fans, I'm not sure if you're the same, Ollie, would like to see when Jones is back, him higher up. Because I do feel like, I know he's played there for Middlesbrough, but I mean, there was a few times last season when he played there and he got, for me, like needingless yellow cards that are just not needed and just things like that. And I feel, there is an element of risk there, really. I think he's a good player, but like I say, I just think if you use him much higher, it's just more beneficial there. And that is a worry. That is a worry for me that I do feel definitely them wing backs for sure.
Yeah, you get the protection from fullbacks as well behind them. And when you get that protection playing a back three as well, it sort of pulls your back three apart, leaving gaps to be exploited unless you have a very savvy defensive midfielder who knows to drop in and plug those gaps. That is really the problem. And I guess we're talking it to death. Like we're not the decision makers. The window's done now. The club have finalized their business. It looks like 3-5-2 is the way forward. I guess we'll just have to boss teams, won't we? But those are famous last words. Which signing really stands out for you? Are you happy with the business today?
Today's it's an interesting one because I obviously done a video myself the other day on Shaden Morris, and a lot of Aberdeen fans told me their thoughts, and they're all very similar thoughts in the sense of he's a very good impact player. He's not really quite great starting, and also because I was saying just typical with what we do, we like to play these players as wing backs, and they were telling me it's not ideal to do that because he played there once for them, and I think they were 3-0 up, and they ended up drawing 3-all.
Oh,
Or
blimey.
something. Yeah, something like
He'll
that.
fit right in.
Yeah, so it's just like I just know we'll typically do that. But I don't mind, him as such. The others, obviously, other than Alhamdi, I haven't really seen too much to really have a look at. I mean, the one we've loaned back out, I'll have a look at him now because obviously we've got him in, but it doesn't fill you with hope because we've done this a lot with players over the years. We've brought them in to then have them at the club, but they're not actually at the club. They're somewhere else, and then they get loaned out, and then they never actually play. So them ones I don't really see the understanding with. The only understanding I can see in them ones is if they then do really well at that club, they'll obviously be cheaper now than they would be next year. But it is a bit frustrating, really. But when it comes to best signing overall, for me, the one that I was really excited for Keeley, but more based on the performances so far, I'd have to go Saville. I think he's been really, really consistent for us. And I did say on my channel, I do feel if he gets injured, I do feel, because we don't play Lamine as a CDM, I feel in the midfield, like as much as it's good attacking players and they're good at going forward, I feel we'll be so open defensively to get, broken through into. So, yeah, I'd have to go Saville so far overall. I still think he's a player that's a top championship player as well.
Yeah. Saville for me as well. I agree. Very, very smart business. And I think I said that as well. And I agree with Keeley. I just think it's a lot of attacking players. And hopefully we can fit it all in. Like Lee says here, looks more like a 3-4-3 to me, especially with all the front players we have. Well, with a 3-5-2, you can have 4 attacking players because you have the left and the right wing back who push way up. Realistically, is what they're meant to do. Then you have the 2 up top, and then you have the 2 8s attacking as well. And then you pretty much just have 4 defenders, 3 centre backs, and Saville sort of sitting there in the middle. Super Mickey Chow has a very good point here. We used to get overrun easily in midfield before Saville. It doesn't happen too much now. I feel he slows everything down, doesn't he, Tyler?
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, the good thing about him as well is he's that player that would just be in front of that defence, and just getting them slide tackles in. And yes, I know he's got a few yellow cards that people have been frustrated with, but me personally, I like to see that because we haven't seen that for the last 2 years. We've just been getting overrun so easily, and because he is, because I'm not looking at Nakamba, I'm not looking at Lamine because we don't play him in where we feel we should play as a CDM because that's what he is. He is technically, and Hakeem's out long term, he is technically right now the only one we've actually got in that position. So that's why I say if he gets injured or something bad happens, like, injury for a long term or something, I feel we could get overrun easily and we could start, conceding a lot.
Yeah. Good points. Very good points. I had a counterpoint to that, but it's literally gone out of my head now because I'm reading that comment. If you all love Fanny, clap your hands. Yeah. It's going to be a big time for him. Tyler, I think we are probably going to round this up now because going for an hour and a half. Wow. This is absolutely mad. I see Editor Kate has put your channel in the chat. I'd love to tell everyone, subscribe to Tyler's stuff. You do so many videos, Tyler. Like pretty much everything that comes out, Luton related, you're on it straight away.
Yeah, I was last couple of days. I thought today I'd leave it a little rest, given it is the last day, and I'll do the show with my dad earlier today. So yeah, but thank you, Kate. Thank you, Ollie, for bringing me on as well.
No worries. Always happy to. Well, there you go. Kate's even stuck it in the chat again. Just you know. Well, I say give you a push. I have no idea if we have more subs than you.
I think you've overtaken me now.
Way easy. Yeah, next up, Lewis Williams coming for you. I think we've overtaken When the Town as well. Yeah, it's the hard work behind the scenes from Kate and all the talent that we have on our roster as well. But thank you very much to everyone for listening and watching and interacting. And Tyler, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
Right. Finish up with a couple of comments. There are some that have made me absolutely laugh here. Just want to say, Bryn, thank you for having me on. Needed to have my say, and I appreciate having the platform to do it. Bryn, you are welcome anytime, mate. You were absolutely fantastic. Carl Bickerton says, thoughts on Derby County's transfer window? Couldn't give a shit, mate. Nick and Mel, Bryn Watson, you spoke the truth. You did indeed, Bryn. You were fantastic. I'd love to meet you at a game sometime. We could have a good chat if you come up from Kent. I'm down in Kent quite regularly, so for work. Matthew Byro, we need to figure out who's playing in the middle regularly. Edwards didn't do it. Matt needs to. I agree. We really do. Benny Benegar at left wing back, highly rated from the under 21s. I'd love to see more youth getting a chance. Like Chigozi looked really good against Cov. I think he needs more games. He really does, especially when Mads gets his injury that you can literally set your watch to. Matt, I don't disagree that we need a right back and left back, but surely Matt Bloomfield didn't ask them unless we tried and can get them over the line. Who knows? It depends what the purse strings can stretch to. Kevin McHugh, Gary Sweet playing Championship Manager. No rhyme or reason behind the strategy in this window. Matt Bloomfield just seems to be a yes man to me. I don't know. My Championship Manager team is absolutely fantastic. I have to share it on social media at some point. I'm playing an 89 to 90 database, and it's tremendous. I have a 19-year-old Zinedine Zidane. It's tremendous, as well as a 18-year-old Roberto Carlos. Right. Thank you to everyone. So far, all I've heard, Fickle fan slating. Oh, here we go. Chalkster. Give the transfers a chance. Give them time to bed and show what they can produce. Oh, we will. We will, Chalkster. Right. Thank you. Yeah, Super Mickey Chow. Thanks, Ollie. Thanks, Kate. And Tyler. Thanks, Kate. Thanks, Ollie. Ben. Thanks, Ollie and Kate. Great live stream. Come on, you hatters. Everyone. Take care. I've taken up enough of your time. We'll be going for an hour and a half. I can't believe it. I got work in the morning and I'll be up super duper early. Everyone, take care. Most importantly, come on, you hatters.